Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell, and Mary is with me here today, and we're going to do a landscape, and we're going to do shovel pour for the bottom half, and we're going to try and remember to use some sunset colors for the sky. That is a 12-inch by 16-inch canvas. This is my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. I'm going to make up my pan of colors before I start that I'm going to use for the shovel, and put some Anita's white metallic in the bottom to float my other colors on so that I have enough paint. And the Anita's white metallic is very economical. It's like $4 for 8 ounces, and then I add my Floetrol GAC 800 mixture, and that's really a big assistance. Now, I don't usually do shovel pours for the landscape, but I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm not saying that I won't do a Bloom Recipe cell activator added on top. Once we get going, I might swipe some of those colors. So that's the dioxazine purple that I get from Hobby Lobby. Modern Masters. That's some Decor Americana copper. There's a little Prussian blue. I don't really think that it matters very much. This is called a cobalt blue. This is an Artist Loft metallic turquoise. I don't know why they call it cobalt blue, but I love the color, so it really does not matter. This is my Decor Americana 24 karat gold that I added a little bit of orange to. I try and be as random as possible while I put these colors in here, and I try and add a little something that's weird. And that would be, at the moment, a few drops of my Hot Orchid Prism Pour from Color Art. And what am I looking for? The green gold from Folk Art. No paint chips allowed. Yeah, that's going to be... And some emerald green, also from Folk Art. And then I'm probably going to throw a little bit of lighter colored purple. Not sure what this is, but it's a metallic. Not even sure how this is going to work, but I will add more colors to this as I go along. If I feel it's necessary, I have a little turquoise. Let's use some of that. I mixed that color myself. I cannot tell you what is in there. It's time to get rid of that. We're going to do the sky first. And I'm going to use my Anita's white metallic as a base. And no paint chips.
Is that thicker than normal, or is that your normal thickness?
That's pretty normal. And my recipe is usually around a half and half. My paint pouring mixture is 3/4 Floetrol, 1/4 GAC 800 by Golden, to keep the paint a little glossier, and also to keep it from cracking if I leave it heavy. I don't think this matters. This is unusual, but Mary wants a sunset in her sky, and I want some blue in there as well.
This is Mary Kay.
Mary Kay.
Yeah.
That's not going to be that difficult to remember, Mary Kay. All right, so now I'm going to give myself a little bit of the Venetian blue with a lot of Anita's already in it, and a little bit of the Venetian blue with none, which is usually pretty strong. I try not to be too exact. I keep forgetting how strong that color is, and it is really strong. But I'm liable to make adjustments as things work out. Now, the reason I don't use a regular white in the background is because it mutes my colors something fierce a lot of times. And a lot of times these scapes are hard to get the edges covered. I have more paint and I want to use it, which is probably neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and use a base layer near the horizon of the Anita's white metallic with a little bit of fluorescent or neon pink. I think this is just generally a Hobby Lobby brand. And pretty much every time I do stuff, I do things a little different. I've got something called Egyptian coin, and for whatever reason, I'm going to throw a little bit of it in there. And my go-to and standby is the color shifting purple flash from Folk Art. And I'm just going to let those mix. And see if we can tip them, and if we can, great, and if we can't, never mind. I need a straw, and I lost my yellow straw. After this, we got to go get you some straws and meat too. I'm going to let that tip down, and it is tipping down quite nicely. And I see that thing that does not belong. Chances are pretty good that this is going to be a little more complicated than I'm used to, because Mary Kay would like to have some trees and some mountains, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to keep moving as quickly as I can, and you've seen my sunset sky, and I thought there was something in there, but I guess I won't give up now. I'll probably find that and use my tweezers on it if I rediscover it. I'm just putting enough paint over the edges to cover, and hopefully we can keep that from being a problem. I like taking the paint, left-handed, not usually, on my spatula.
I like that, the way you're blending it up. It's pretty.
I want to use more and more often. I really want to use the edge of the spatula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really blends the blue into the sunset.
Got to keep changing up the game. You got to keep doing different things.
I'm a big sunset watcher, so.
Yeah, I had 80,000 photographs on my computer like 10 years ago from all kinds of sunsets. All right, I'm going to throw that in the bucket because I've got more, and I'm going to use my white Anitas again, which is unusual, but that's how this one is going, because I want something on the canvas that's wet. I might put some green on as well. Come here, thing that does not belong. So, no other purpose than just to wet the canvas. And let's I'm just developing new methods of doing stuff as I go along every time. So if this isn't to your liking, I'm sure there's like half a dozen videos that are different than this. I'm going to grab my shovel. I'm going to grab an edge catcher, because in order to use the shovel, a lot of times you're going to have to tip. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. Put this right over here. And I'll let some of that go right over the edge.
So are these the mountains are forming now?
No, this is the landscape.
The landscape, okay.
And I'm probably going to just tip things as I go along. There's my edge catcher. I like to line up my edge catcher with my paint as opposed to putting it where I've already tried to cover the edge, because I don't really want to pull anything off. So I'm just tipping that to let the colors meld. And the truth is, that's not a bad mountain. The mountains have to come last because they're going to meet the sky. But in the meantime, where's my green?
But then when happy little accidents happen?
What's the question?
No, because it looked like that mountain was coming whether you liked it or not.
Yeah. Quick fill in.
Yeah, I like that.
And if I wanted the mountain to move, I could probably just give myself a little bit of paint right there. I tip it the wrong way to make it meld, and then I throw it back again till I get to the edge. So it's time to get on with this. I think I could have used a whole lot more paint. I might need more. So I'm going to squeeze some more right into my shovel. I'm tempted to put some water at the bottom.
That'd be great.
But we still need to remember, may have to remind me to put trees in.
We can find a spot for them. Sometimes trees don't happen.
That is the truth.
Water happens.
Alright, so let's go over here again. So that all that paint goes sideways. Because I already chipped the top section, I don't have to worry so much about the top section falling off the canvas. And I'm going to also move my residuals right down and let them pour onto the canvas and mix with the other stripes. And I think, because we keep talking about water, that we should do some of that. I do have to put my finger into the we're going to get what we get. It's always always a surprise. Actually, I think I'm going to grab the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula and use my leftover paint. Put it right down over my edge. Now, I should show you guys that before I go on, because I think I'm inclined to use some of my cell activator and see what happens. But I don't have paint down all my edges either. So that means I was going to make some more up, but I can still.
So what are your thoughts of filling in the blank canvas area?
Well, I don't have to because there's paint there, but I'm going to swipe.
Okay.
I'm thinking very much of swiping through and seeing what happens.
Okay.
Because for me, it's hard to do the same thing twice, and I like experimenting. I could have done a known quantity, and probably should have.
See, what I would do is I'd probably put blue in it and make it streams of running water.
Well, you're going to do a painting in a minute.
I know, I get to do what I want to do on the next one.
And we're going to make our mountains blue and fairly soon. And I'm going to take all of the paint out of my shovel. Not including that, whatever that is.
A chunk of something.
I'm going to use paint in my shovel and the paint in my dish. There's your stream.
There's your stream, damn it. Oh, am I allowed to say that on YouTube?
Yeah, well, too late now if you're not.
It's kind of PG.
Just going to keep putting that in there. I'm going to use whatever I've got. I don't need anything on that edge. This edge is pretty good. It's time for some mountains. Okay, I am going to play with the black. The Amsterdam black, I need that out of the way. Because I want to. Add a
So
few
that's
cells.
just Amsterdam black with no activator.
That is the cell activator.
Okay.
It has the pristane wood conditioner in it. And the recipe is below the video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like adding a few cells. I also don't really want to waste that paint. And it doesn't matter if there's gaps, because that's a good opportunity to put your paint in there. Take that edge catcher right out of the way. Usually I use a much larger swipe card, but right now I'm inclined to use this one. Alright, I have wanted to do a shoveled poured stripy landscape for a long time, and now I've got one. Not so sure about the bottom yet. At all. Inclined to put a little silver down there, which usually implies a rocky coastline for me. Oops, good if you don't stick your fingernails in the painting. Alright, so let's give myself my mountains, which I think are just going to be some of the Venetian blue along with a little bit of the Prussian blue. And what else? I'm looking for the purple. And I like to add a little bit of a lighter color. I've got 2 minutes left to tell you guys what I tell you, which is I do sell my artwork, and my email address is right below the link tree. Should you want to contact me, that's a great way to do it. I don't want that. I want the turquoise. It's going to look like the ocean back there again. I think my husband forgot I had a class today, and I'm imagining that he's calling me. Now, it's nice if you have a little extra paint when you do this, to add something else in there. Usually I would tip this, but right now I have enough paint so that I know I don't have to. I do have a spot, but now it's gone. So my trees are most generally added by pulling up through a darker color. So we have a little forest at the top, why not? And I could probably try and do something new. And hope it works. Put a little green in there. There's a little green in there already. Let's put a different color green in there. I have other color greens. Why am I not using them? Trying too hard. Well, chances are we're going to run out of time, so I might put some more trees in for Mary Kay after this. But for right now, this is what it is. I got 1 minute left to tell you guys. If you shop my Amazon link, it's no added cost to you, and you can find it in the link tree. The link tree is the first blue link under the video. I torched to release the bubbles caught in the paint. If I have paint to steal and a place I want to steal it from, I can just pounce my little spatula. Best to pounce because you want a certain level of paint. You want a layer as opposed to a coating. Anyway. I could leave the white in there if I wanted to, and I have done in the past. But I like the stripy landscape. It's kind of weird. And anything on my edges that I need to cover, I'll cover afterwards. And another time I'll probably do a whole lot more.